Good evening, folks. Welcome back. I just so lost yesterday, right? Like in the video, I just can't still believe what I spoke, how much I spoke, and all. It was a complete chaos last night. I had promised on Monday that I'll definitely be doing a video of how the birthday went and all the stuff. So I did do it, not because of it's an obligation, but I felt that I need to be accountable. I need to be disciplined in that way to come and record the video. So I think it was like almost, if I'm right, 11:30 or probably closer to 12 o'clock in the night that I just came into the room. I have no clue what I set up because I just sat in the exact same position, and my tripod was down. I had used it for mounting my camera during the birthday celebration. So I picked up some other tripod. I kept some camera. I started recording. I spoke for some time, and then I picked up the memory card, loaded the footage, rather copied the footage back to my system, and I realized that the video is not showing up on my um, timeline. I'm able to hear the audio, but the video is not showing up. First of all, I didn't fix the proper mic, to be honest, and I was feeling like lost, especially after I copied everything to the system. I felt like what is going on. And then I just for like almost couple of minutes, I was just wondering what happened. Then I turned back and I saw that I'd used my GH5 instead of the GH4 I regularly use for my blog. Don't ask me why. I just use my GH5, and my GH5 is usually in a different setting and different kind of a record setting and all. So probably I think I've kept it as 10-bit 422. I don't know if it was 4K or full HD, but DaVinci Resolve, using which I'm editing all my vlogs since the last 28 days, uh, the free version. So that does not natively support 10-bit 422 files from GH5. I don't know about other cameras, but at least GH5 does not support. So spend the next 5-10 minutes figuring out why my videos are not getting shown up on the timeline. Then I realized it's a 10-bit 422 problem. Then I had to transcode it into some other format. Picked up I had a tool, thankfully. I ran it through that took another 5-10 minutes. By this time it was already past 12 o'clock and I was completely exhausted, and somehow managed to transcode it, did the basic edit, the usual stuff that I do, upload it, slept off. And I didn't go to my room. I slept off here itself in my home office. And probably around 3 o'clock I suddenly woke up, and then I realized my lights are still on, my system is still switched on because I left it for upload, and I had passed out here itself. So I just got up, shut down everything, went back to my room, I slept. Morning I got up at 10 o'clock. It's totally gone. I mean, like last 24 hours was like completely, I just like at least the last the entire night, almost after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I was totally lost myself. So the whole point is something like, I've realized that I go through this phase quite often. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. So I was so physically and mentally consumed, I would say, throughout the day yesterday, because I told you that we had a function yesterday evening, and I've observed that by end of such functions or such events, not only in my personal functions, even like if it's in events like some photo shoot or some travel, something which I've handled in office and stuff like that, I just realized that I channelize 100% of my physical and mental energy to it, and by the end of the event, when everything is done, I'm completely drained out. When I say drained out, I'm literally drained out. So this, I don't know if it's probably something new, or this is, I am not able to recollect from when this started happening, but I just realized that it's happening quite frequently. And I was just looking back in time, and um, minus 1 year during my kid's first year birthday. Even on that day, it was an outdoor venue. I mean, that we had a 2 day event. Like on previous day, we had some function here in the same place, and again the actual birthday celebration was in a outdoor venue. I was just so tied up and so engrossed in all those uh, event management stuff, as I would call, and that kind of like literally I just lose track of the time. I just lose track of, like, I have to eat food, I have to drink enough water and all those things. And by the end of the day, I'm literally drained out. So I'm not really sure if it is some kind of what I would say, like some kind of like an aura sitting on me that everything has to be perfect, nothing has to fail and all, or probably it's the fear of failure, like something might go wrong, something might screw up or something like that. So I'm not really sure. So this has happening, as I told you, even in my events and all those stuff, and even during in my personal functions. Anyway, this, as I told you, has happened during some of the office events I was taking care of. It has happened during so many functions that I've handled in my house, be it the my own wedding, be it my kid's birthday, kid's naming ceremony, or the housewarming ceremony of my house, or anywhere like. Uh, I don't know. I'm still not able to digest why this happens, but I'm just keen on knowing, like, if does everyone go through this, because I don't know if I have interacted with many people who kind of like literally take over the complete ownership of everything that happens during an event in their house or anything. I know a lot of people manage events and all. I know a lot of event managers for the functions, like huge, large scale events. But I don't know if they go through the same thing. Probably yes. I'm not denying the fact. But for me personally, I felt that it is kind of this small. I mean, I still not don't want to generalize that, but I, at one side, I feel that it could be that fear of failure or fear of something going wrong, or some possibility that I'm just trying to be uh, someone who wants to make sure that everything goes perfectly fine and nothing should get. So I kind of like, even as a precursor to the event itself, even like one day or few days before itself, the checklist starts growing on in my mind. Like, even for yesterday's function, even as of I think probably by weekend itself, we have started thinking of when we will do, what we will do, how we will do, and all those stuff. And things kind of kicked up pace on Monday, so that's 2 days back. And we started thinking, like, okay, when should we start doing the decoration, what will happen if we do it early, what will happen if we do it late, and things like, anyway, it's a birthday party, so we were wondering, like, okay, if we inflate all the balloons in the night and keep it, because of the weather or the fan or anything, will it burst, it will all go for a toss. The amount of effort that you have to put in to make sure that inflate it and everything goes for a toss. And again, like, if you start doing it on the event today, which was yesterday, if you start doing it in afternoon, how much time you'll have? What if something from previous activity, like we had to go out and get the cake from the baker, so what if something gets delayed there, and because of which things gets spilled over and all that. So all these things keeps running in my mind, like all these ifs, buts, and all those stuff. It keeps running in my mind, which will kind of like pressurize me to make sure that everything goes well. Like, in fact, like, the birthday was supposed to start at like 7:30. In fact, like, I had kept a Zoom meeting invite to my close family members. I think I just realized that I spoke about that also last night. Almost 7:32 or 7:35, I've not even started the Zoom, because I was just so busy making sure that the decorations are all in place. My kid is all dressed up and all. I know her mom was taking care of that, but like, I had to push them to make sure that they get ready. We forgot to do the photo shoot, which we usually do it like about 1 hour or half an hour before her cake cutting, and that's when like, she looks very fresh and all energetic. Yesterday also she was in that case, but apparently we didn't get that buffer time. I even spoke to my friend who has a studio very close, like right in front of my house, but we couldn't go there. So probably I'll have to do that sometime on Saturday or Sunday. But everything goes on to the last minute, and then you do the cake cutting. I'm worried about this meeting thing that I'm running on my phone, which people are seeing, and I'm worried about the photos. I'm clicking photos. I need to make sure that everyone gets their share of cake. It's too many things. I just can't believe why I always do it myself. And morning, I got up. I just got up and immediately had my breakfast, and I logged in to my office system, and I just checked my mails, finished few of the morning meetings, and I was talking to my wife, and she told, like, why is that, like, you have to take up everything on your head, and we can't keep doing like this. Like, we have to make it in a simpler way. At least going forward, whatever next functions we do, we'll have to do it in a simpler way. I just didn't respond. I just kept cut off. I just told yeah, and I just came off. But there should be a better way of handling it, because I can't stress myself so much for every single function or whatever. So let's see. I probably have to learn and learn way of handling all this stress and pressure and all those things, and make sure that I don't get completely exhausted. And even today afternoon, I think after lunch, I just totally passed out. Like I just slept for I think almost an hour, if I'm right. I don't even know what happened. I just came here, sat on the sofa, and I slept off for an hour. And when I got up, I was feeling a little bit fresh. Now I'm feeling tired, but I think it's mainly to do with dehydration. So I drink more water now or tomorrow, I should be okay. But I just wanted to talk about this stuff only today. Like, why do people do, or why do I do all these things that stresses me out or completely drains me physically and mentally? If you know the answer, then probably reach out to me and tell me how to overcome all those things. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, something interesting, something new. Thank you so much. Bye bye.